I just found out that my fiance is the father of my 3-year-old cousin. My fiance and I have been dating since we were teenagers, and I've always thought that he was the full package. He was polite, funny, handsome, smart, and we really never fought about anything. I also thought I was so lucky for how close I am to my aunt. Now, I grew up about a 10-minute drive away from my aunt, so we've always been super close. She was married for a few years, but went through a pretty bad divorce and never had any kids. I spent about 4 or 5 nights a week as a kid spending time with my aunt. She was literally like a second mom to me. When my aunt told me about 4 years ago that she was pregnant, I was shocked, to say the least. I didn't think she was seeing anyone. And we told each other everything. Every time she was dating somebody, she always talked to me about it. But when I asked her who the father of the baby was, she was always really vague. Said it was somebody that she was seeing casually, but he's not going to be involved in the baby's life. I was like, you know what, whatever, none of my business. Once my little cousin was born, it was amazing. I absolutely love him. He's the sweetest kid in the entire world, and he's basically like my little brother. My fiance has also spent a ton of time with him, and I never thought anything weird about this. It made sense that they were spending a lot of time together, and he was hanging out with me and my baby cousin. Why would I think that was weird? Now, I would say my life was going pretty well until about a week ago, when I was sitting at home and my fiance was out with his friends. I was binge watching a show on Netflix, and at some point my computer died. And I was so comfy in bed. I didn't want to get up and get the charger, but I saw that my fiance's laptop was on the nightstand. Now, I thought this was the perfect solution. I didn't have to get out of bed. I could continue watching my show. Yeah, it was not what I was expecting. As soon as I turn on his iPad and put in his passcode, it starts lighting up with text messages. And I noticed a lot of them are from my aunt's number. He didn't have her number saved, which I thought was weird, but I have her number memorized, so I immediately...
Also, why would your aunt be texting
I see
him?
that one of the texts that popped up at the top of the screen said, "We really need to tell her. It's not fair for her not to know." I know I shouldn't have, but I was nosy, and I think most people would have done what I did.
I'd be nosy
I
too.
open this text thread. In these text messages, my aunt is telling my fiance that it would be unfair for my little cousin to grow up not knowing who his dad is and thinking that his cousin's husband, who will be his cousin, is just his older cousin and not his dad. I was shocked. My
That's your
fiance
uncle.
back that although he does want his child to know that he is the father, he doesn't want to risk ruining our relationship and that he loves
No,
me.
it's ruined.
And if I ever found out about this, we would definitely be over, and he couldn't risk that. Now, there weren't that many texts, but definitely enough to tell what was going on and enough to completely destroy my world. I waited for my fiance to get home, and when he did, all I did was hand him the iPad with the text conversation pulled up. I had obviously been crying for hours, and
Yeah.
at first he was speechless. Then he broke down into tears and admitted that 4 years ago, when I went on a girls' trip, he started an affair with my aunt. Apparently, it only lasted a month. A month too long. But he found
A
out
day
that
too long, a
she
minute
was
too long.
pregnant with my baby cousin. And they both made the decision that they wouldn't tell me because they didn't want me to be upset and cut them out of my life. Okay,
So this
they've
isn't
lied to me.
upsetting?
They've been lying to me for 4 years. My fiance and my aunt, who's like a second mother to me, have a child together. I can't even look at either of them. I'm so disgusted. And I feel horrible because the other day I tried to spend time with my little cousin and it was hard for me to even look at him. Now, every time I see him, all I can think is all of
Is the
features he has that resemble my
betrayal.
fiance. Now that I see it, I can't unsee it. It's so clear that he's my cousin's dad, but I would have never thought that. That never would have even popped into my head. But now, the same nose, the same mouth, the same hair color, everything. And I don't know what to do because I know it's so easy for people to say, leave him, but we've been together for so long. I love him so much, but I don't know if this is something that I can look past or I can get over. If there's literally
That's a
anything
huge
that we can
betrayal.
do as a couple to get over this.
That's a
It just
huge
seems like it's too
betrayal.
much, but Regardless, now he's always going to be a part of my life because he's my little cousin's dad. And now that I know, they've decided that they're going to grow up letting my little cousin know that he is the father. And even though I'm so angry at my
What
ex,
in the
thought of getting her out of my
Maripovich?
life and not having a relationship with her anymore hurts me so much. She has tried calling me so many times trying to apologize, but I can't talk to her. To me, it's just the ultimate betrayal. Like, how can you do that to somebody that you love and care about so much? Hopefully I figure out what to do, but honestly, doesn't really seem like I have a lot of great options.